Hi guys, Sinead here with Free Tours by Foot London. I've just exited London Victoria Station, and today's little journey is going to be a little trip around London Victoria. Now I want to show you some of the hidden gems in the area, a huge theatre district but a major transportation hub in London. So it features an amazing amount of bars and restaurants in the area and has undergone a major transformation. Over £700 million was spent in 2016 to regenerate this area, and it is usually very, very busy here, especially during rush hour. The second busiest train station in London. Last year alone, 85.9 million people went through London Victoria Station. So I hope you enjoy the tour. We're going to go to a little quieter oases in the area. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the tour. Stay tuned. So I'm going to start today just by giving you a visual of London Victoria Station. Now this is the main entrance to the station, and it serves the Circle Line, the District Line, the Piccadilly Line for the Underground. And the Overground you have heads all the way to Chatham, heads to Brighton, but you also have the Gatwick Express, a very important destination for Londoners here, heading out to Gatwick. So sometimes for tourists, it's the first point where they'll visualize London for the very first time. Now this building straight ahead of me here is the Grosvenor Hotel, and this was the former home of a family called the Grosvenor family. They lived in here until 1920. The Grosvenor family are the Dukes of Westminster, and I'll explain a lot more about them when we head into the residential properties that surround Victoria Station in the area of Belgravia. So this is the beautiful hotel. The first hotel, they say, in London to have what was called, at the time, an ascending room. And if anyone could guess what an ascending room is, please do so in the comments below. I will give you the answer at the end of the tour. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Doing a little tour around Victoria.
Is that for YouTube, is it?
Yes, and Facebook. So this gentleman you'll see here. Now this beautiful gardens is called Lower Grosvenor Gardens. And where we are right now is we're on Buckingham Palace Road. Because when you come out of Victoria, and if you head straight down this direction, if you'll see the big brown building at the very end, well, that is the back of Buckingham Palace, folks. So Buckingham Palace is in close proximity to the area. But we're going to head around this beautiful little gardens here. And this very dapper looking chap on top of his horse was a chap called General Ferdinand Foch. And he was the supreme commander of the Allied forces during World War I. Now this area was laid out, these gardens, to commemorate the friendship between England and France. But a rather unusual new little sculpture up here. Before we head in there, I want to show you this. This is by an artist called Richard Wood, and it's called Small, Medium and Large. These gorgeous little cottages here are part of a new art exhibit in London. So it's a temporary exhibition, but it will be, it's called Art in Motion. So it gives artists the chance and the platform to exhibit their work in all the areas around here, and particularly around Mayfair and Belgravia. These beautiful little cottages called Small, Medium and Large, quite simply. I hope I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure I am, but I can always confirm it. Now, so Ferdinand Foch, the supreme commander of the Allied forces. Now, these are one of 400 open green spaces here in London. Now, that truly is the beauty, in my opinion, of this amazing city, because you're in one of the busiest metropolises in the world, and you can be in the middle of the hustle and bustle and the mania of the city of London, one of the busiest parts of London, but you're only ever always a 10-minute walking distance from a beautiful open green space. And this one is known as Lower Grosvenor Gardens. Just a little bit of information. It was designed in 1952 in the French style and dedicated there to Marshal Foch, a decorated hero of the First World War. Now there are two shell huts, as it explains here, designed by Jean Moreau, the then architect-in-chief of the National Monuments and Palaces of France. What I love about these is they are decorated with shells from the Normandy beaches.
As I say,
And I believe they were meant to be decorated as well with shells from English beaches, so maybe there are a few. And just to point out, that was to promote the alliance between France and England. So these beautiful decorated huts, decorated with shells in the Normandy beaches. So this is a beautiful little area. Sorry, you guys. Anything can happen, a little child having some fun. So if you are in the area and you decide that the restaurants are a bit too busy and you'd like to get a nice little sandwich and pret-a-manger, etc. around the area, you can do so and head here. Lovely, quiet little oasis. Now, a lot of these buildings tend to be, there's a lot of lawyers' offices. The embassies are in the area as well. But you can do a lot of shopping. Now there's a great view in the background of the Grosvenor Hotel. But that was the official residence and they moved to Ebury Street. The Duke of Westminster now lives in Ebury Street. More about the Duke of Westminster in part 2. So where you are right now is Grosvenor Gardens. And we're in lower Grosvenor Gardens. But I just want to take you up here to upper Grosvenor Gardens in the area. And this one was opened up to celebrate the wedding anniversary. Dedicated this to his wife. The Duke of Westminster opened this gardens up to the public to celebrate their wedding anniversary as a gift to his wife. But Grosvenor, the direct translation is, I hate to use the word, but big hunter or fat hunter. Grosvenor. And this beautiful sculpture in here is called The Lion and the Lesser Kudu. And we'll head in to have a look at it right now. And it's a lion chasing a lesser kudu. And it's to represent the great hunter of the Grosvenor family. Okay, just make sure I don't get knocked down there. Another one of those beautiful little quiet oasis gardens. And these are both directly across from Victoria Station. There she is, right in the centre. The lion. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to actually walk on the grass, but the lion chasing the lesser kudu to represent the Grosvenor family. Now we'll just head around here. I want to show you this monument here. Now in the second part of the tour, I will come around the walls here. Directly in front of you are the walls of Buckingham Palace. But I don't want to give away too much because that'll head down then towards Buckingham Palace, that street. And this one is in memory of the riflemen of the Rifle Brigade who fell in the Great War in 1914 to 1918. Rifleman's Memorial. So let's have a look through. Now there is another entrance to Victoria Station. So I want to take you through there because there's a lovely little hidden gem also across from Victoria Station that a lot of people tend to miss. So, if you're enjoying the tour so far, why don't you go ahead and click that like button and help others discover this video. And if you would like to watch more walking tour videos like this one, then also consider subscribing to our channel and click that notification bell so that you don't miss any new videos. In addition to walking tour videos, we also offer videos on London, travel tips, as well as videos covering day trips from London. And if you have any place that you would like to see us offer a video tour of, then leave your suggestions in the comments section below. below. And lastly, if you'd like to buy your tour guide a pint or a cup of coffee, links to do so are also in the description below. Now back to the tour. It's beautiful buildings you see here on the main street of Grosvenor Gardens. Now, for any of you fans of the royal family, this building was super exciting on the day in 2011 on Beeston Place. You'll see Beeston Place up here. In 2011, this is the beautiful Goring Hotel. Recently awarded the best afternoon tea in London, and a great treat for the family. So if you are coming to London, keep that on your list. Everybody tends to gravitate towards the Ritz, which is also fabulous, but the Goring is beautiful because this is where Kate Middleton spent her very last night as a single woman with her family. Now, we were all waiting with bated breath to see that magnificent dress on the day, and when she did leave the Goring Hotel here that day with her family and had the short journey to Westminster Abbey, they had a huge awning here from the front door, so nobody could get a glimpse of the dress until she stepped out at the Abbey itself. So there you can see the royal warrant appointed by appointment of Her Majesty the Queen Hospitality Services, the Goring in London. So a favourite of the royal family. Now this is Victoria Square, and if I'm not mistaken, the only statue of Queen Victoria in London is also in this area. Well, there is at the Victoria Monument. Nonetheless, I don't want to get sidetracked, so let's just head back this direction. I will find it on another journey. I know it's around here somewhere. So I wanted to take you just through the other entrance of Victoria Station because people tend to get confused. Now, a quick reminder to you, there is a difference between Victoria Station and Victoria Coach Station. Victoria Coach Station is the station you will head towards when you're going to take some little trips around, maybe out to Stonehenge and Bath, or Windsor, Stonehenge and Bath, or the Cotswolds, Salisbury Cathedral, Leeds Castle, any of those day trips. You catch the bus at Victoria Coach Station. So stay tuned for part 2 of the tour, because I will show you exactly where Victoria State Coach Station is located. It's about 200 yards from Victoria train station. My countless mornings, I'm getting ready to bring customers on a coach tour to Stonehenge, Windsor and Bath, arrive completely flustered and terrified they'll miss their day trip due to confusing both. So that's a handy tip. And there are the gardens we were just through a minute ago, Richard Wood's sculpture. So here is another entrance to Victoria Underground Station, but it's a little deceptive because you walk through a little shopping area where there's a lot of food and restaurants and stores in there, and then it brings you back out through that little alleyway, through this building, out to Victoria Coach Station. Now this is a massive building here, you guys. This is very recent as well. This was built in around 2016 as part of the massive extension of the 700 million renovation of Victoria Station in the area. And it's a mixed use building, again shopping and restaurants. There's a Shake Shack, there seems to be one every corner in London. But you'll get a lot of nice open air rooftops is what I mean, rooftop restaurants and bars on top of the buildings around here. Give you an idea there. the size of these buildings all around the area. A lot of office workers in the area too. So this is Victoria Underground Station, so they say, but just that you're not confused. You can connect to your underground, all right. Oh, they've actually closed it. That's fine. That's fine. So that avoids confusion. But this is another exit into the Victoria Underground Station. Now, this part of the building is closed off at the moment, but what I want to show you is this little hidden gem. Now, I love this, and people do react really well to this. So we're all familiar with the iconic Big Ben, the wonderful clock tower in Parliament Square, the Augustus Pugin attached to the Palace of Westminster, built in 1834 after a destructive fire. And Big Ben is under extensive renovation himself. It's taken a while now, actually. Big Ben is the bell, by the way, in the clock tower. The clock tower is called the Elizabeth Tower. And just to show you exactly where we are, that's the main entrance there to London Victoria Station. And if you take a short trip along here, just this route, that will bring you to one of London's little hidden gems. And that, straight ahead of you, is Little Ben. Now, Little Ben is a 9-foot cast iron replica of Big Ben. Gillette and Johnson were the clockmakers in Croydon that built this replica. In 1892 it was erected here. Now it is a replica, of course, of Big Ben. Now they do say, again, a dedication to the friendship with the French, it remains on British time, but when we spring forward for summertime and the clocks go forward, it remains an hour behind to reflect the time in France. But I think they gave up on that because they were confusing too many commuters in the area. So the clockmakers, now in the late 19th century, these were very popular. These little clock towers were erected all over towns and villages all over Britain and in the parks to commemorate usually the Jubilee of Queen Victoria. But this little gem is known as Little Ben. She was taken down in 1964 for restoration work, and they put her back up again in 1981 as a celebration of the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in 1981. So make sure you come and visit one of London's little hidden treasures known as Little Ben. It's also a great meeting point. You're meeting people like Victoria. And here you have, first erected in 1892 rather, taken down in 1964, restored and part of Westminster City Council, offered as a gesture of Franco-British friendship. My hands you may retard or may advance, my heart beats true for England and for France. Now don't forget, another exit here for London Victoria is in this direction, and there's amazing shopping along Victoria Street. Wonderful makeup stores and clothing stores as well. And Hamilton is being shown here in the Victoria Palace Theatre. Now that's a hot ticket in London, as I know it is in the United States. This is meant to be Anna Pavlova, the famous ballerina, on top of the building. And this is where Wicked is showing in London as well. So don't forget London Victoria on your travels, ladies and gents. This is part 1 of the London Victoria tour today. Stay tuned for part 2. Hi girls, they're coming from school, the ladies. 3 o'clock, of course they are. And if you have enjoyed this, please stay tuned for part 2 of London Victoria, and don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, folks. That does me a hell of a lot of good with regards to making more videos around here. The more subscribers we have, the more videos we make. So thank you for joining me. Part 2 coming up. Don't forget to stay tuned. Sinead here in London, signing out.
Round